Hi, this is the effect of social media on our mental and physical health. Social media is always around us, everywhere we go. From the person walking down the street, looking down at their phone, they're probably on social media. Heck, you might even be on social media, watching this video right now. From our phones to tablets to websites on computers and laptops, it's almost impossible to go a day without some interaction with social media. It is used by billions of people around the world, and just in the US, millions of users are on social media. According to Pew Research, in February 2019, 90% of adults in the age group of 18 to 29-year-olds said they use at least one social media site. Now, we may think that these social media apps are for the better. They help us connect with the world, see what's going on around the world. They help connect with friends and families and people we might not be able to see halfway across the world. But are they really for the better? We're here to say social media apps are detrimental to mental and physical health. After all these social media apps are here to make money for their company. These social media apps perform what is used as a rewarding system, in which viewers can like, comment, and or share posts, which can boost platform interaction, but can also cause anxiety or depression. The use of social media can often lead to cyberbullying or create an ideal body image, which can be detrimental to young users. With the wide use of social media, viral trends go around these platforms, and because these trends pop up everywhere, users want to get involved. They don't want to feel left out. But these trends and challenges can be harmful for the person. Social media provides a platform for interaction overload, where leading to the spread and acceptance of misinformation, which can damage a user's mental health and perception of the world. For the rewarding users, most social media apps contains likes, comments, and followers or subscribers, and users can share other people's posts. According to McLean Hospital, the unknown outcome and the possibility of a desired outcome can keep the user engaged with the site or app. The outcome being how many likes or a post will get, who's going to like the post, or how many people and at what time other users will interact with the post. Users can also compare posts and question why one user liked someone else's post but not theirs. This can be extremely harmful for a young teenager who's looking at their post and wondering why it's not getting as many likes as someone who has millions and thousands of more followers than them. This unknown aspect makes the user keep checking their post to see how many likes has gotten or who has liked the post. This can create anxiety for the user and may also cause depression. Instagram and Facebook use these rewarding systems so they can earn more money each time someone loads in onto their website. But other people's posts also have an influence on others. They may become jealous because one user might be on vacation, but the user is stuck at home. This can really be harmful for mental health. Users may fear missing out on social events or missing a joke or a meme. Users can see social events and gatherings they might not have been invited to, which can ultimately lead to depression. Now, here's Jordan to talk about cyberbullying.
Thank you, Yuma. I'm Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how social media can affect your mental health through cyberbullying. As social media has become more popular over the years, so has cyberbullying. This is due to the fact that online you can be anonymous and say things to someone's face that you normally wouldn't say because of the repercussions. Additionally, social media is, for the most part, unsupervised. So no one's looking over your shoulder to make sure that you're being kind to other people in their direct messages. This can be dangerous for someone's mental health. According to Charisse Nixon, a professor of psychology at Penn State University, From a study she published in 2014, she discovered that cyberbullying has negative mental health effects on both people who are being cyberbullied and the cyberbullies themselves. For people who are being cyberbullied, they can develop depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts, and the cyberbullies themselves can develop delinquent behavior, aggressive behavior, and substance abuse through cyberbullying. This mainly affects teenagers, as teenagers are the main group of people who use social media and thus the main group of people who experience cyberbullying. Because of this, the Cyberbullying Research Center in 2019 surveyed a nationally representative sample of 12 to 17-year-old students to determine how they experience cyberbullying. From the survey, they discovered that about 37% of the students had been cyberbullied in their lifetime, and around 15% of those students had cyberbullied someone else in their lifetime. This statistic can be applied to the nation as a whole. So you can extrapolate and say that 37% of 12 to 17-year-old students in the nation have been cyberbullied, and about 15% of 12 to 17-year-olds in the nation have cyberbullied someone else in their life. This gives a perspective on to how widespread the effects that Nixon found in her study are to the nation as a whole, as around 37% of 12 to 17-year-olds can experience the blue arrow mental health effects, and around 15% of 12 to 17-year-olds can experience the orange arrow mental health effects from Nixon studies. Additionally, the study led by Justin Patchen from the Cyberbullying Research Center went into more detail and looked at cyberbullying data over the past month for the same group of students. So from a past month, around 17.8% of those students had been cyberbullied, and over the past month, about 6.3% of those students admitted to cyberbullying someone else. This shows that not only is this a widespread problem from the lifetime data, it's also an ongoing problem from the last 30 days data. This shows how hard it is to be a teenager nowadays, as adolescence is already hard, with students aged about 12 to 17 are going through hormonal changes. They're trying to discover themselves, and they're trying to balance their life, school, and relationships. And now with social media thrown into the mix, they're having to also deal with effects on their mental health. We've already seen these effects with Yuma's part about how social media affects mental health through rewarding users. And now we've seen it with cyberbullying. And next, Tiffany will address how social media affects mental health through beauty standards. So I'm going to go pass that over to her.
Social media also pushes harmful beauty standards that are detrimental to people's mental health. More and more young people are looking up to social media influencers as role models, but what exactly are these people influencing? When you log onto Instagram, you're instantly bombarded with images of wealth, affluence, and beauty from millionaire influencers who have the means to look like they do. But to the average teenager, who is usually naive to all the editing and photoshopping and cosmetic work that these influencers get done, they're led to believe that these extremely thin bodies and doll-like faces are the norm. Kim and Khloe Kardashian, for example, are infamous for, quote, using Photoshop to edit Instagram selfies by making unrealistic alterations to look thinner and more toned, according to Enrique and Patnick. The Kardashians, who are no stranger to the public eye and social media, are the creators and constant perpetrators of this toxic trend by constantly uploading heavily edited pictures of themselves online for millions of their young followers to see. And these standards are so extreme that they usually can't even live up to them themselves. For example, you can see on the screen here this picture of Khloe Kardashian that she uploaded to Instagram on the left, which caused waves of backlash because as you can see, it's heavily edited and you can't even recognize Khloe. On the right, you can see that this is how she looks like in real life, and she's beautiful, but because of this beauty standard that she's created herself. She felt the need to edit herself so heavily to the point of where it's unrecognizable. Young people look up to these celebrities, but the message that they're sending to their followers is that their bodies aren't good enough and that they need to look like these unedited and unnatural pictures. Perloff writes that in a study that, quote, exposure to thin ideal media images increases women's dissatisfaction with their bodies, and many cross-sectional and longitudinal surveys are able to predict body satisfaction, thin body ideals, and even eating disorder symptomology amongst pre-adolescent girls and young women. Young people, but especially young girls who bear the brunt of these beauty standards, experience serious negative mental health impacts upon seeing images of these unrealistic and unattainable bodies every day. If these wealthy influencers can't even fit into the beauty standards that they themselves have created, think about what that does to the average teenager. Young people are getting the message that a perfectly sculpted body is desirable, while the truth is that for most people, attaining that type of appearance is impossible. Social media is harmful to young people, not only to the unattainable beauty standards, but also due to dangerous trends, which Aiden will now talk more about.
Hi, I'd like to talk about dangerous trends, this one being the Fire Challenge. In 2014, a challenge on YouTube spread called the Fire Challenge, in which teens would cover themselves in rubbing alcohol and set themselves on fire briefly before extinguishing it. Unfortunately, the videos that gained the most popularity were the failed attempts that were done often in showers where the person could not fully extinguish the flame. As you can see from this 2018 Daily Mail article, the trend is still definitely alive on social media. There have been many reports of severe burns throughout the country in 2014, and numbers still grow. As from this 2018 article, we can see that a teen set himself on fire and severely burned himself, and the mother went to jail for filming it and for child endangerment. Go figure. Next challenge I'd like to talk about is the Blackout Challenge, also known as the Choking Game or the Passout Challenge. It is a trend that its origins remain somewhat unknown. Major reports came about in 2011 about the trend when Today.com started to report about it. The point of it is that the player attempts to asphyxiate themselves in order to achieve euphoria or a type of high. While this started on social media platforms like YouTube and MySpace a while ago, it's gained popularity on TikTok, now called mostly the Blackout Challenge. Unfortunately, only I want to say 2 weeks ago, in April of 2021, a 12-year-old in Colorado died after he attempted to asphyxiate himself into blacking out, but instead cut off too much oxygen, killing him. This goes to show the point of why dangerous trends can be really dangerous. They can kill you. It is not worth it for internet clout or for internet approval to do these trends, and that's especially seen from something that isn't necessarily a challenge, but also conspiracy theories are dangerous trends. This being the Wayfair conspiracy. In July of 2020, a conspiracy theory that furniture company Wayfair was being used to child traffic across social media, spread across social media, and sparked a movement of awareness and boycott against the company. People took to their Instagram stories and Facebooks to tell their followers what is happening and how they can help. The only issue with them doing this was that the story was completely fabricated. Wayfair was never involved in child trafficking. Ultimately, this dangerous trend is a little bit different from the other ones that caused immediate bodily harms, but it still caused a lot of physical and mental harm, because ultimately by doing this, you're hurting the cause to stop child trafficking by spreading misinformation, which is a real problem. Luckily, Jennifer is about to go next and about to tell us more about misinformation and how it can really hurt both our mental health and other people's mental and physical well-being.
Thanks, Aiden. Social media allows for an information overload on its users, easily facilitating the spreading of false information and news. According to Verizon, often referred to as fake news in modern times, The term misinformation is defined as false or inaccurate information that may be distributed with the intent to deceive those who read it. It is difficult to properly evaluate the credibility of every piece of information seen on social media, which results in most users accepting what they see online as true. According to Nobel Prize winner Herbert A. Simon in a Scientific American article, what information consumes is rather obvious. It consumes the attention of its recipients. Social media thrives on throwing information at the consumers, and by overloading users with information, this also leads to the acceptance and spreading of misinformation. As seen in this image from the Scientific American article, the information load is high, while the quality of information is low, resulting in a complex, confusing web consumed by the user. In an article by Karina Erdl-Yeh on SciComm, she mentions a term coined by psychologist Stephen Stosny, the term being headline stress disorder. While this is not an official mental illness, overconsumption of news and information, whether it is credible or not, can contribute to anxiety, hopelessness, depression, and a tirade of other mental health issues. While it could be difficult to implement solutions, it is evident that an individual's mental health is better when not partaking in social media. On an individual level, a user could delete social media, which has been proven to improve mental health dramatically. Within our institution, a solution could be University of Maryland hosting mental health days or organizing activities that encourage limiting time on phones and spending time outdoors. As seen in this image from the University of Pennsylvania's website, they have mental health awareness and activity days where students are encouraged to participate and learn how to approach their mental health in a healthy way. While a government could step in to limit content and/or individual usage as a solution, this would infringe upon freedom of speech and has not been too effective when utilized in other countries. The most effective solution for limiting social media's impact on mental health would probably be on an individual basis. Even if a user does not want to completely delete social media, it could be beneficial to simply set a screen time limit on certain apps or personally limit one's time online. Social media has proven to be mentally toxic in numerous ways, and while the blame can't be put on one person or app, it is clear the mental toll it takes on its users. By encouraging rewards, providing a faceless platform for bullying, building up an impossible beauty standard, supporting dangerous trends, and spreading misinformation, social media continues to be a harmful environment for its users, especially for the younger audiences. While it is ultimately up to the individual user, it is clear limiting usage or deleting social media accounts altogether is the most viable and beneficial solution to the mental turmoil social media puts its users through. Thank you.